We will share the same bed. I want 5 kids, 1 each year, to carry on my legacy. But you cannot fall in love with me. If you fail, you'll go back to the hell you came from.
Suddenly, all the pain from my past flooded my mind. My stepmother's torture, the fire that stole my face. Escape through marriage was my only way to survive.
So what do you want, Alisandra?
So I signed Duke Edgar's contract. We got married, on a no-love condition. I had no idea what was coming.
Are you ready to make an heir, Alisandra?
I turned to the only place I could confess the truth. My diary. With shaking hands, I wrote, "Dear diary, I've fallen in love with my husband. Utterly, desperately. And if he ever finds out, if he reads this or sees it in my eyes, he'll end the contract. He'll send me back to that house, that cage, that life. And this time, I don't think I'll survive it."
Alisandra stared at the ink-stained confession. The truth bled across the page like a wound. Slowly, she closed the diary. She returned it to its hiding place beneath the floorboard, pressing it flat and replacing the panel. Her fingers lingered there too long. The page was still warm, and the door was already opening. Later that morning, when she had gone to bathe, Alfred entered to clear the tea tray and linens. He was a quiet man, methodical, loyal. But something gave him pause, a floorboard slightly misaligned. Curious, he knelt and lifted it. His eyes landed on the leather-bound diary. He hesitated. Alfred had served House Collins for decades. He knew the look of something not meant to be found, but duty is a blade with 2 edges, and his master's safety was paramount. With reluctant fingers, he opened the book, just a single page. Then he closed it. His face paled. He slipped the diary into the inner pocket of his coat and made his way through the corridors to the Duke's study. He knocked once, firmly.
"Enter,"
came the Duke's voice. Alfred stepped inside, shut the door behind him. With a solemn expression, he placed the diary on Edgar's desk.
"My lord,"
He said softly.
"you should read this."
The Duke's fingers brushed over the worn leather. Even before he opened it, he knew. He had felt it too. Something forbidden, something fragile, something dangerously close to love. And he began to remember how it had started 2 months ago.
Are you selling your daughter or just one of your cows?
Duke Edgar Collins said dryly to the overeager mother, presenting her daughter like prized livestock.
"I beg your pardon, Duke?"
She replied in shock, gripping her daughter's arm as the other party guests turned toward the exchange.
I've already told you. I'm not interested in marriage. And yet, you continue to parade your unfortunate daughter in front of me. Love is a lie men sell to trap women in cages. I have no use for it.
The Duke had already been bombarded with 3 eligible maidens that night, and his patience was wearing thin. He might have been the most eligible bachelor in town, but he was a man of principle, and he found desperate mothers repulsive. If he ever married, it would be for strategy, not love. Love was for fools. He'd learned that early, which of course only made him more desirable. Of course, he enjoyed the pleasures of the flesh as any young man in society did. But even those dalliances came with complications. The mother clutched her necklace, scrambling to recover.
"Duke Edgar, I would never! The mere accusation is appalling! Forgive me! But we were under the impression you were on the market again."
Duke Edgar raised an eyebrow as he scanned the circle of women now orbiting him like vultures.
And what poor fool told you that?
The woman's cheeks flushed red. She looked down.
"His Royal Highness. The king himself said he couldn't wait to see you with a duchess on your arm."
At the mention of the king, The vein in Edgar's neck twitched. Though His Highness had the grander title, Edgar owned nearly as much land. Their rivalry had been simmering for years. Friendly, public, and full of petty sabotage. This rumor was just the latest move.
I see.
Edgar said coolly.
Well, allow me to spare you all the effort.
He turned toward the mother, voice rising just enough.
With all due respect, I'd rather marry my horse.
A stunned silence.
Good evening.
He tossed back the last of his drink and walked to the nearest window, jaw tight. Duke Edgar Collins was the only son of his father and the sole heir to vast, almost mythic lands. He lived like a king, and thanks to his ties to the crown, he moved like one too. Women didn't just want him, they wanted the title, the legacy, the power. Becoming a duchess meant ascending to the most enviable position in the realm. Even his coldness didn't stop the offers. If anything, it fueled them. He was said to be sharp, dangerous, and unyielding. But once his father passed, the fear seemed worth it. Edgar exhaled, watching his breath fog against the window pane.
It's going to be a miserable evening.
He muttered. He felt like a man trapped in a viper's nest, and every snake wanted a ring. Edgar had no idea why he agreed to attend the Baron's party. Desmond Barrett was a man he barely tolerated. His empire was crumbling, and Edgar couldn't imagine why a man on the brink of bankruptcy would throw such an elaborate event.
Duke Collins!
The man himself appeared, Baron Desmond, grinning far too widely. He shook Edgar's hand with both of his, bowing deeply.
It's an honor to have you here, Your Grace.
Edgar was used to flattery. It didn't mean he liked it.
Baron.
He said coolly.
So kind of you to grace our little soiree.
Save it, Baron. You know why I'm here.
Edgar's voice dropped.
Unlike the king, I'm not convinced you're useful to our cause.
He was investigating the disappearance of several young women in the region. Desmond had sent a note, claiming he had information, asking Edgar to speak with him here. Edgar saw through it immediately.
Of course, of course.
Desmond stammered.
But what kind of host would I be if I didn't offer you a drink?
I'm not here to drink. I have about as much patience for liars as I do for criminals.
Edgar growled, grabbing Desmond by the collar as several guests gasped.
If you invited me here just to parade me in front of your guests, I'll have you hanging by sunrise.
I'm sorry.
Edgar's grip tightened.
Sorry.
His eyes burned.
You're wasting my time. And it wouldn't take much to snap the neck of a thin, aging little man.
Desmond's skin prickled as the Duke's cold breath brushed his cheek.
I have information.
Desmond choked.
I swear. It's upstairs.
Good boy.
Edgar stepped back with a cruel smile.
I look forward to hearing it. Now get the hell out of my sight. I'll need a smoke. Alone.
The garden is off limits to guests, but for you, of course, it's open.
Desmond straightened his jacket, trying to recover some shred of pride.
My daughter Kate is out there as well. I'd be honored if you spoke with her, briefly. She's fluent in 4 languages, refined, elegant, and said to be one of the most beautiful women in the kingdom.
Edgar narrowed his eyes.
Do I look like a shooting star to you, Baron?
Desmond blinked.
A shooting star?
You seem to think I grant wishes.
Edgar stepped forward again.
Run along and bring me the information. And stop haggling your daughter like cattle. You insult both my intellect and my time.
Yes, sir. My apologies.
And just like that, Desmond vanished into the crowd, tail tucked and pride in shreds. Edgar exhaled slowly. He made a note to never take another house call under the king's orders. Desmond Barrett was nothing more than an opportunist, using Edgar's name to draw a crowd and pawn off his daughter. Before anyone else could introduce their livestock, Edgar turned sharply and walked in any direction, just to get away. "Follow after him," he heard someone mutter behind him. Edgar pulled a cigar from his coat pocket as he stepped into the cold. He had a feeling this night would require relief. The air bit at his skin, sharp and bitter. Still, he'd rather freeze alone than sweat beside another desperate mother. He lit the cigar.
Should have brought 2 coats.
He muttered. As he moved past the stairs, he spotted a young woman hurrying into the shadows, hugging a thin coat tightly around her.
A bit light for this weather, isn't it?
He called. She halted, tensed. She didn't turn.
The party is inside.
She said carefully.
I'm aware.
He exhaled smoke.
Don't tense up like I don't know who you are, Alisandra.
A pause.
Who else wears a mask in the Baron's home, besides his allegedly cursed daughter?
I'm shocked you know who I am, sir, and that you haven't run. You scared of me?
No.
His tone was flat but clear.
Trust me. I've seen worse than masks.
She wrinkled her nose.
That cigar's going to kill you.
Good. Might speed things up.
He flicked ash into the snow.
Are you scared of me?
Not really. I hide in shadows, remember?
Still, she didn't turn.
I don't know much about court life. Or who you are, to be honest.
Right. Edgar Collins. Just Edgar is fine.
She finally turned, startled.
Duke Edgar Collins?
Her eyes widened behind the mask. She had assumed her father had lied.
Rumor says you're here to marry.
She said.
For my stepsister Kate, I imagine. She is a beauty.
Huh. I'd rather die.
He replied.
No offense. The women in there all look like dolls from the same box. I'm not one for love. But if I was, I wouldn't be interested in ceramics.
She laughed, short and surprised. He didn't smile, but his eyes flicked toward her. Then she stepped closer.
What about me?
Her voice was soft.
If I asked you to marry me, what would you say?
The question hung in the air. He exhaled.
What none of you seem to grasp is this. If I did marry, it would be loveless. I was never interested to begin with, but the rumor's out there, and it's spreading.
What if I'm not after love?
That got his attention. He chuckled.
No guarantee you wouldn't fall anyway. Women are always so emotional. Trust me. The first sign of my affections, and women crumble. That's why I'm resigned to a loveless marriage. It always complicates things.
You underestimate me, Duke. What if we had a contract?
He turned toward her. Their eyes locked, mask to maskless.
If I may speak plainly.
Her voice trembled, but only slightly.
I'm a leper here, cursed, kept in shadows. I want out. I think you do too.
He narrowed his gaze.
Did your father send you?
She stepped back.
My father has no idea I'm here. He'd be furious if he found out.
So this is your idea, Alisandra?
Yes. This offer has nothing to do with helping him. I don't want love. I want escape. I want freedom. I want out.
Is your father marrying you off to some crusty old count? Must be bad if you're asking a stranger to marry you.
Edgar muttered, crushing his cigar against the stone wall.
I am dying within these walls, neglected. I don't care for your looks, Duke Edgar, nor your money. Frankly, I see you as an escape.
She explained.
I've heard the king wishes for you to get married. You seem to have zero romantic interest in a wife, and I could be a suitable choice. Our goals may be aligned here. We'll never expect love from one another and never be responsible for each other outside of marital duties. Is this agreeable?
Edgar had finally started to believe Alisandra. Still, he wasn't looking to entertain the idea of being married to her just yet.
It isn't hard for me to find an actress to play the role of my wife.
If it were so easy, you would have done it already,
Alisandra said.
If the king set this up to toy with you, choosing a wife like me will surely drive him crazy.
You're sharper than I expected. The rumors about your timidity and reclusive nature are clearly false.
Alisandra didn't break his gaze.
And you are said to be a monster. But you seem almost human to me. I do what I must to survive. If my terms are not agreeable, I shall leave you be.
Alisandra said as she took a step toward the door.
Meet me at my estate tomorrow. We will discuss this further, and then I will give you my answer.
Alisandra couldn't believe he was considering it.
Your estate? You know, I don't usually travel that far from home.
Then consider it a test. I want to see how serious you are. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'd like to retire for the evening. I bid you good evening, Miss Alisandra Barrett. Hopefully we shall see each other soon.
Edgar turned on his heel and began making his way back inside to say his goodbyes to the Baron.
We shall see each other tomorrow,
She whispered to herself, watching him go.
Duke Edgar, who are you speaking to?
Kate Barrett stepped into the garden. Her eyes flicked between the Duke and the girl vanishing down the path.
I hope she didn't offend you, Your Grace.
She said sweetly, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. Edgar didn't turn.
She didn't offend me, unlike your father.
Kate blinked, surprised.
Well, good.
She moved closer.
If there's anything we can do to make your evening more enjoyable.
She placed a hand lightly on his chest.
You and I would make a striking pair.
She purred.
Powerful, beautiful.
Edgar stared down at her hand, then swatted it away.
Tell me, Kate, is there some misconception that I'm looking for a wife who can perform like a courtesan?
She recoiled.
Not all men are weak to a well-practiced pout. Your efforts are futile.
He stepped back.
And for the record, I've received a far more interesting offer this evening.
Her jaw dropped.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
He turned and left her frozen in the cold, alone with her fury.
I can't believe I got caught.
Alisandra muttered to herself as she leaned up against a tree far out of anyone's sight. She knew the affections Kate held for Duke Edgar, and should have known her sister would have come looking for him. Alisandra could only pray that Kate had heard nothing from their conversation, for she knew that Kate would not hesitate to spread rumors and gossip.
Please don't let that be the case.
Alisandra wished she could have stayed to hear what the Duke and Kate were talking about. Would Edgar tell her about Alisandra's proposal? Would they laugh at her expense? However, from their brief conversation, Edgar didn't seem like a man to joke around and make a fool of someone. Alisandra reasoned that he would not have invited her to his home if he was not serious. Her chances were still slim, but for the first time, Alisandra had a glimmer of hope. She took a deep breath, pushing any negative thoughts away. She would worry about everything else tomorrow. But as of right now, she was starving. Alisandra's stomach rumbled. She slipped down the back corridor toward the kitchen, where the smell of roast duck drifted through the stone. Inside, the staff scrambled under pressure, one of the Baron's legendary feasts. She caught Mario's eye through the door. He leaned out and hissed.
You trying to get us both beheaded?
I need a favor.
2 minutes.
He wiped his hands and joined her under the archway.
I need the coachman tomorrow.
She whispered.
A ride, quiet, no questions. My family can't know.
That's no small ask.
You're closer to him than I am. If I ask, he'll bolt before I open my mouth.
Because of the curse.
She didn't deny it.
Where are you going?
To see the Duke.
You've lost your mind.
He stepped back like she'd burned him.
You know what they say. He beds women and discards them.
Then I won't let him touch me.
He doesn't need permission. That man doesn't love. He consumes. And when he's done, there's nothing left. Trust me, he has left many a broken woman his wake. You must protect yourself.
Trust me. I gave up the need for affection years ago. Now I am out for protection. And if the Duke can help me, I am going to seize the opportunity. If not, I know how to protect myself.
She pulled a small knife from her dress pocket.
That's your plan?
He said flatly.
You're going to poke the Duke?
if I must.
Slash, not stab. You always forget.
She smirked.
That's what I keep you for.
What's the second favor?
I'm starving.
From inside, someone called.
Mario!
He groaned.
Wait here.
Alisandra leaned against the cold stone, tapping her fingers to the waltz drifting in from the ballroom. Her father used to play it, over and over, until the melody burned into her bones. She let herself imagine silk gowns, candlelight, someone offering her a hand. Mario returned with a plate.
A bit of everything.
He said.
You're a saint.
Don't die tomorrow, all right?
He winked, then disappeared back inside. She turned, and before she knew it, morning had arrived.
My lady, your breakfast.
Came a voice outside her door. 3 knocks. Alisandra groaned, stretching. She blinked at the ceiling. Today could change everything.
My lady?
That voice wasn't the usual maid's. Too nervous. Too eager.
Kate?
Alisandra muttered. Of course. A real maid would have knocked and left. She sighed. Not the day to provoke her sister.
I'm coming.
She put on her mask, crossed the room, and unlocked the door. The maid stood there, head bowed.
Your breakfast.
The tray sat on the floor. Alisandra bent to pick it up, and a shoe pinned her hand to the ground.
Good morning, sister.
Kate said sweetly. Alisandra flinched.
Good morning.
Run along.
Kate snapped at the maid. She stepped closer.
Did you have fun last night, Alisandra? Yes.
Kate's smile cracked.
Yes? In my room, I heard the music.
Kate narrowed her eyes.
What did you say to the Duke? I didn't realize he was there when I came for dinner.
Alisandra lied smoothly.
He scolded me. Then you arrived. That's all.
Kate pressed harder on her hand.
What else? He mentioned marriage. You as an option. Nothing more. I swear.
Kate hesitated. That sounded plausible. Still.
Of course he spoke about me. Why else entertain the freak?
Alisandra stayed silent as Kate continued.
I swear, Alisandra, if you do anything to get in my way...
She slammed her foot down again.
Kate!
Their father's voice rang out behind her.
Stop that this instant!
But father, she...
Kate trailed off, realizing there was no use in denying what he clearly saw.
The Duke saw her last night and they spoke.
Desmond looked surprised, as the Duke hadn't mentioned running into his eldest daughter before saying goodbye.
Never mind that, Kate. Let her go at once.
Kate removed her foot from Alisandra's hand and then stomped on the floor like a toddler.
Remember your place, freak.
She hissed to Alisandra before storming off.
Alisandra, sweetheart.
The Baron inched closer to his daughter.
Can you tell me what happened between you and the Duke last night? Why were you out of your bedroom? You know, there was a party.
No food came last night, and I was hungry. The garden is off limits, so I thought I could run by quickly. That is all,
said Alisandra.
What did you talk about?
Alisandra kept her head down low.
He only wanted to make sure he could smoke there and talked about Kate as a marriage candidate.
Really?
He was worried Kate had not seduced the Duke last night. But now it seemed she had an effect on Edgar after all.
That man is so strange, he probably wants to observe her a little longer. This is good. Still, you should not have gone out. What if I had changed my mind and taken a few people out there?
I am sorry, Father,
she replied.
Fine, fine. There's absolutely no point in scolding you. Whoever did not bring your food is to blame. I'm sorry about what Kate did, but she's just looking out for the family.
Desmond was worried, but since Edgar mentioned nothing, he assumed it meant that Alisandra had not offended him.
You must be bored in your room all the time. Let me get you some entertainment. Name anything, and I shall fetch it right away.
Since you asked, I have run out of things to paint. Can I ride around in the carriage to see places to paint? I won't get out, I promise.
Desmond placed his hand on his hip, as this wasn't something Katrina would agree with. However, if they kept Alisandra locked away, she would try to leave her bedroom more. It was best to give her a little bit of freedom. After what Kate just did, he had to do something to make it up to her.
Promise me you won't leave the carriage.
I promise.
Alisandra grinned.
Back at his estate, Edgar was enjoying a much better morning than Alisandra.
Young master, I have brought your breakfast.
The butler, Alfred, said as he entered Edgar's study with a tray. He found it odd that Edgar was not seated at his desk as he normally would. Instead, Edgar was peering out his window, which had a clear view of the entrance of his home. Alfred placed the tray down on the desk and straightened it out before turning around to see if there was anything else Edgar would need. Unfortunately, it did not seem like Edgar realized he was even there.
Young master,
Alfred called out again.
Good morning, Alfred.
Edgar looked away from the window to Alfred standing behind him.
Thank you for breakfast.
are you expecting guests? Should I prepare breakfast for them or have drinks prepared?
Alfred figured that was the reason Edgar was staring out the window. The only person Edgar did this for was his mother. But it wasn't due to him being excited about her visit. Instead, Edgar did this to see who was tagging along with his mother, so he would know to abruptly leave home.
I am honestly not sure. I gave her the invitation, but it is not certain she will arrive, unless she is truly desperate.
Edgar went back to looking out his window. He was curious to see if Alisandra really would visit him. She was never seen out in public, so her coming all the way here to make a marriage contract with him was intriguing.
A woman visiting in broad daylight?
Alfred was utterly surprised. Edgar frowned, turning to look at Alfred once again.
What are you trying to say, Alfred?
Yes.
Alfred bowed. Edgar couldn't believe Alfred had answered honestly. Had it been anyone else, Edgar would have fired them. But Alfred was a long-time friend and father figure.
I am not. Please refrain from saying such a thing if the guest is to arrive. She might become the lady of this house.
What?
Alfred had to hold onto the desk to stop himself from falling. Edgar stared unamused at Alfred's dramatic reaction.
Why are you acting like it's such a surprise I would get a wife?
After a brief moment, Alfred recollected himself, since he needed to get the truth.
Your exact words when the king suggested you marry. I would rather jump from the roof and die. Maybe I misinterpreted those words. I apologize.
Alfred, I sincerely believe I inherited my dramatic nature from you. I am not interested in marriage, but the woman I met last night was intriguing.
I do not understand.
It will be self-explanatory if she arrives today. If a Barrett comes to visit me, let them in. Not the father.
Edgar added, since he could not stand the man.
Barrett? Is it Kate?
Alfred spoke softly. She wasn't what Alfred had in mind to be Edgar's wife, nor did he see how intriguing she was.
Did you drink at the party last night, Edgar?
No, I only had a quick smoke break.
Edgar replied, leaving the window to see what Alfred brought him for breakfast.
Smoke? Excuse me. I shall check all your cigars.
Alfred bowed, ready to leave the room to check Edgar's supply. Edgar looked to Alfred for an explanation.
If you find Kate Barrett to be intriguing...
Are you crazy?
Edgar stopped Alfred in his tracks.
The Baron has another daughter. Alisandra Barrett is the older one.
Thank goodness.
Alfred held his chest and sighed.
You are aware of the rumors concerning her, right?
Edgar believed Alfred shouldn't be so relieved, yet.
Anyone is better than Kate, in my book. If that younger girl were to become your wife, I would finally retire after 40 years. We are not so sure Alisandra will even arrive. When was the last time you...
A knock at the door interrupted Alfred. He opened the door to find a maid with a terrified expression, hand him a paper before going back to her duty. Alfred closed the door as he read the paper.
It appears we are in for a surprise. Alisandra Barrett is here and wishes to have an audience with you.
Edgar was pleasantly surprised to hear she had arrived already, or even that she had come at all.
Invite her to my study.
Yes, young master.
Alfred bowed. then proceeded to do as he was told.
Stop bowing so much, Alfred. You are not a priest.
Edgar said, as Alfred left the room.
Alisandra Barrett. What an interesting person you are.
Meanwhile, Alisandra exited the carriage her father gave for her to ride around for the day. Luckily, Mario had spoken to the coachman, and nothing about this visit was to be mentioned to her father. If the coachman showed any signs of betraying what he promised, Alisandra didn't mind playing into the rumors about herself to threaten the man.
This is huge,
Alisandra commented as she looked around the entrance of the Duke's estate. It was no wonder that he was the biggest catch to get married to. The man was filthy rich.
Good morning,
she said as armored men walked past her.
Good morning.
They replied in unison. Moments later, the large doors of Edgar's home opened up, revealing a man in butler clothes.
Welcome, Alisandra Barrett. The Duke is expecting you. I'm Alfred.
Alfred greeted the young woman. He did not react to her mask and made sure not to stare at it. He made a mental note to tell the other workers to do the same.
Good morning. It's nice to meet you, Alfred,
Alisandra said as she approached Alfred. She held out her hand to properly greet the man when she stood in front of him. Alfred shook her hand happily. It was rare for many of Edgar's guests to greet him like this, but Alisandra did it without a second thought.
Come, I shall lead the way.
Alisandra felt unable to breathe when she entered the Duke's home for the first time. The paintings, the opulence, the space.
He is in here.
Alfred knocked on the door and then opened it for Alisandra to walk in.
Thank you,
Alisandra told Alfred before entering the room. She felt her heart skip a beat when the door closed behind her, and Alfred had not come in behind her.
I wasn't expecting you to show up, but if you did, breakfast time was not my guess.
Edgar sat at his desk, watching her every move.
Why? Should I have snuck in at night like a thief?
Alisandra responded without thinking. He liked her spark.
I suppose coming at night would have made my men think you were a criminal. And why would I have invited you to my home if I were embarrassed by you? Take a seat.
Edgar pointed to the free chair on the other side of his desk.
I'm extremely curious to know how you were able to leave your father's home, when it is said you never leave. Did you play a trick on your father, or did he let you out willingly?
As Alisandra was taking a seat, she digested Edgar's words carefully.
I am not working with my father, if that's what you're trying to find out. In fact, I took a great risk being here today, and you must know that I am extremely serious about this. There is no going back for me.
Does your father hate you?
Edgar bluntly asked. Alisandra thought for a moment.
I don't think my father hates me. He is ashamed of me. Who would want a daughter with a reputation like mine in a world like this?
It is a parent's job to love their child, no matter what. It's a shame you were born as a baron's daughter. You would have been loved elsewhere. Someone must have been really jealous of you, Alisandra.
I can hardly believe that,
she said.
Fine. Let's say I believe this is all you're planning, and your father is not involved. Why would someone who has lived a vast majority of their life in hiding want to marry someone who has the spotlight on them?
Truthfully, I didn't plan on asking you to marry me. It was a spur-of-the-moment decision. I need an escape plan, and my only option is marriage. I never pictured that person to be as grand as you, but you fulfill all the criteria.
Edgar raised an eyebrow.
The criteria?
I need to consider 3 things, Duke Edgar. 1, you are a private person, so there would be no need for me to mingle with many people. 2, I can ward off people from coming around you. Lastly, you are capable of controlling my family. That might be the most important. And it seems like you're the only one who could succeed,
she explained. Duke Edgar weighed her words carefully.
It is true that I like to keep to myself, but there are few parties I need to attend. Whether it is hosted by family, friends, or work-related, am I to show up without my wife? It would be boring if you hid all the time,
said Edgar. He was not looking to have his wife be a prisoner.
You are misunderstanding something, Duke Edgar. I never hid because I wanted to. I did what I was told to in order to survive. I would love to go out and view the town, attend parties, and dance around. I might not have the experience, and my confidence might need to increase, but I do not wish to live in the shadows anymore.
She looked right into his eyes as she made this confession. Edgar made a humming sound as he contemplated something.
A week ago, I would have never entertained this conversation with you. But I'm in the mood to play games.
He placed a piece of paper on his desk.
What is this?
Alisandra asked, as she looked at the paper with fancy designs on the edges.
A contract marriage needs to have rules and conditions, right?
Edgar pushed the paper, a pen, and ink toward her.
Let's get started.
Alisandra's eyes widened as she realized he had officially accepted her proposal for them to get married.
Isn't this a little too easy? I expected him to grill me some more,
she thought. But she was also relieved. There was no going back for her.
What are you waiting for?
Edgar asked when she continued to stare at the paper without doing anything.
Sorry.
Alisandra reached for the paper and pen. She gasped when Edgar grabbed her hand before she could touch the paper. She felt a chill of warmth run through her body.
What happened to your hand?
Edgar spotted the bruising around her knuckles.
Did you punch something, or did someone hurt you?
It's nothing.
Alisandra pulled her hand out of his grasp, but noticed he held his grip for a moment. He was already being protective. This is something new, she thought.
It is something,
Edgar said, voice cool.
Seeing that you'll soon be my wife, I don't take kindly to someone harming what's mine. Name them, and I'll see them punished.
It was an accident, Duke Edgar.
Just Edgar.
He flicked his cigar against the stone.
We'll revisit it.
I will try,
Alisandra murmured.
Based on our terms, no love shall be the first condition.
No love.
He tilted his head.
And how do I know you won't fall in love with me anyway?
Alisandra looked up from the page. He was handsome, sure, but she didn't know him, and she wouldn't have spoken to him if not for desperation.
Trust me, you're not my type, Edgar.
So you do have a type.
He smirked.
Now I'm curious.
I was hidden away, not blind. Now, what should the second condition be?
Then let's make it formal.
He said.
If either of us breaks this rule, if you confess love, act on it, or expect it, you forfeit the contract.
He tapped the page with his finger.
You'll be sent back to your father. No protection, no shelter, nothing.
Alisandra froze.
And you?
She asked.
If you fall in love?
I won't.
He said simply.
But if I do, Alfred will be
Alisandra echoed.
I assumed a year, maybe 2.
Do you plan to break your vows?
He asked, grinning.
Till death do us part.
She stared at him, stunned.
At some point, you'll need an heir,
she said, heart thudding. Did he mean with her?
Of course, my wife shall bear my child.
You wouldn't mind me carrying your child?
You're starting to annoy me, Alisandra.
Edgar said, tone sharp.
Yes, you. If I didn't want you, we wouldn't be doing this.
If I had a child, they'd suffer. The rumors about me, my curse, it would follow them.
Edgar's eyes didn't flinch.
My name silences gossip. No one will speak a word.
He stepped closer.
If they do, I'll handle it.
How?
Rip out their tongue. Makes them very quiet.
Alisandra didn't doubt him. Something dark in his tone made her pulse quicken, though she wasn't sure if it was fear or something else.
We can continue,
she said softly, picking up the pen. Giving him an heir didn't scare her, not if he meant to protect them.
Edgar,
he reminded.
Sorry, Edgar.
You'll get used to it,
he said.
I'll visit your father tomorrow. Ask for your hand. Publicly, to prevent another accident.
He noticed how she tucked her hands away.
Would you prefer to move into my estate before the wedding?
That would cause gossip.
He didn't flinch.
Let them think I got you pregnant. My reputation's already filthy.
She blinked.
Won't that ruin you?
He gave a short laugh.
Add it to the list.
A pause. A shift.
Since we're being honest, you'll want to know what's true on that list.
She hesitated. Heat bloomed in her cheeks. Her voice, when it came, was low.
If you tell me, I'll tell you too. Everything.
His expression darkened, intrigued. The pen hovered between them like a dare.
Yes.
And with a stroke of the pen, it was done. They had signed the contract. What started as duty grew into a bond neither of them was expecting. Shared interests, a lingering glance here and there, but Alisandra shoved it down. Until the night they dedicated themselves to making an heir. When the candlelight dimmed and the doors were closed, they hadn't touched like strangers. They had moved like something else entirely. Careful, quiet, reverent. It hadn't felt like a transaction. It had felt like more. But now, morning had come, and with it, the danger of everything that followed. The morning after they laid together for the first time. When Alfred found her diary, he knew he needed to share this with his master. After all, she was merely the lady of the house, but he had to obey his duty. Edgar looked up as Alfred entered without knocking.
My lord,
the butler said gravely, placing the diary on the desk.
you should see this.
Edgar raised a brow, flipping open the cover. His eyes skimmed the first lines, then stopped. He read it again, then again, every word, every betrayal. Despite everything, I love him. His hand clenched around the edge of the page. The contract's terms echoed like thunder in his skull. There was to be no love, no affection, and no attachment. And yet, she had written it plainly. I've fallen in love with my husband. He closed the diary and looked at Alfred, his eyes burning with anger.
You know what to do.
But, Master, are you sure?
Alfred couldn't believe that Edgar wanted to do this with Alisandra. Was falling in love with her own husband such a huge crime that needed to be punished?
Yes, Alfred. Do what you must do.
Meanwhile, Alisandra was still in her bathrobe as she closed her eyes and dreamed about being in his arms once again. The door suddenly burst open, and Alfred entered with armed guards without permission.
You didn't ask for my permission, Alfred?
Alisandra was shocked.
You're no longer a Duchess of Duke Edgar Collins.
Will the Duke punish her for breaking the rules? Or will he acknowledge her feelings and finally see her as his wife for the first time? Will the fire between them explode into a passion strong enough to rip apart the contract they signed?
To find out what happens next, listen to the audio series, The Duke's Masked Bride, only on the Pocket FM app. Install the Pocket FM app within the next 30 seconds to download 27 free episodes before this offer disappears.